in my time. Is the clock can rewind? Have I let my light shine? Have I made 99? Come on, Court. No. It's not all in vain. 'Cause up the road is my praying in vain. Oh. Is my labor in vain? Is my singing in vain? Is my speaking, is it in vain? Is my playing the organ in vain? Come on, Twinkie. Is my praying in vain? Is my labor in vain? Is my singing? No! Of course not. No. Of course not. It's not all in vain. The road. Singing in vain. I know I'm speaking in vain. Is my playing and talking in vain at Baby Temple, at the cathedral, at all these churches? Is my praying in vain? Oh, is it in vain? Is it in vain? Is it in vain? Come on, y'all. Of course not. Of course not. No. Of course not. It's not all in vain. It's not all in vain. It's not all in vain. No. It's not all in vain. No. It's not all in vain. Here's why it's not in vain. 'Cause up the road. No, 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 no. Of course not. Doom, doom, doom. Hey, everyone. This is your girl, Libra Butterfly, coming to you from the great state of Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast, or the horses are beautiful and the women are fast. It just really depends on what you darn like. So today is 9/11. Do you remember where you was on 9/11? I was at Humana Corporation. Yeah, at the Humana Corporation. And we thought we didn't know what it was at first. And, they convened us all in a room with a TV. And then I was like, can I just go home? I don't know if this is here, New York, wherever, can I go home? And so they decided to let everybody go home. And so I remember calling my home, trying to get in touch with my husband, and the lines was jammed. So, by the time I got home, he was just now getting up, and everything. And he was like, "Oh, you home early?" And I told him, "Did you know what was going on?" And he's like, "No." So we turned on the TV. He was like, "Oh my God!" So we just sat there. So yeah, I remember I was in Humana Corporation at the time. And I want to say happy birthday to all the September birthdays. And if you're celebrating one specifically today, happy birthday, boo, and many, 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 many more. Um, Also, if you're celebrating the anniversary, and everything. And I realized I haven't put the two subbies of the day out there. So I'm going to do that as soon as I get off of this recording. And so, yeah, I just got some stuff I want to say. So I didn't feel like going live because I'm going live tomorrow. So I just wanted to come on and say a little bit of something that's in my heart and to encourage some people. My first book that I wrote, y'all, was called God Can Still Use Damaged Goods. Okay. And when the man upstairs talking about God told me to put it in a book because it would be a ministry tool for many that don't go to church and for those that do go to church but still can't find their words to say that they need help or to get help. So, I wrote it. It's called God Can Still Use Damaged Goods. And let me tell you a little bit about that. Whatever God has chosen you to be, I do, you're going to be or do, one way or the other. It's either you're going to do it or there's no use for you here and he'll eventually take you away from here. Okay. So let me tell you something. This is just a story time too. So let me tell you how this story. Those of you know. Those of you don't. What I mean by that is those of you who are very familiar with prophecy, are prophetic people, and it's those of you who are not, then you just want to just enjoy this true story, okay? So one day, my mom and I went to this church. We went to visit this church, right? And it was really, really, I mean, the spirit was really high in the church, and everything. And the pastor was calling for young females to come up front to get prayer, right? He wanted everybody of a specific age to come up front and get prayer, because some people, he felt in his spirit, there was some teenagers or some young adults that's in their 20s and stuff that was dealing with some things that they wasn't able to tell nobody. So anyway, so he called all of his ministers up front, and it was a beautiful sight to see, y'all. So, those of us was in our seat, we was just, pointing our fingers and praying, that God to have his way, right? And so I wasn't paying any attention because my eyes was closed after a while, because I'm trying to really focus on this prayer, And so somebody started touching me. And I'm like, huh? Because I could hear him say, tell her come here. Tell her come here. Like that, but he know me. I ain't open my eyes, so I didn't know he was talking to me. And so I opened my eyes and he said, you come here. And they said, oh, somebody said, I know her. That's Coco, like that. And he said, Coco? They said, yeah. I said, somebody else like, yeah, that's Coco. And he was like, Coco? I said, yeah. I said, yes, sir. Like, yeah. He said, come here for a minute. So I'm like floored now because he called me out in front of this whole church. So I walks up there and I'm like, because I thought he thought I was a teenager, y'all, because I'm really tall. I'm very tall. I'm 5 foot. That's tall. Ain't you? So he said, I want you to pray. Okay, I can do that. He said, no, I want you to pray. He said, whatever God puts in your heart, that's what I want you to do. He said, pray for her. So this young lady stepped up and everything. And so I did. And, I did what he asked me to do and everything. And then, of course, because like I said, prophetic is just who I am. I'm a prophet. And so as I began to minister to her in prayer, God started showing me stuff and, telling me some stuff to tell her. And so I whispered in her ear. So let me tell you guys something about that. A whole lot of pastors and preachers and bishops and stuff like that. Some things can be said open over the microphone, and then some things is private. And you have to know which one is which. Okay? Because you can crush somebody, You have to know which one is which. Anyway, back to the story. So, I leaned over in her ear and I began to minister to her on what God was showing me. And that girl broke. I mean, she broke. Like she started losing her balance, crying and falling and this he told some people to grab her, talking about, the girl and everything. And so then he pulled me away from her and put me on somebody else. And he was telling them, y'all follow her lead. I was shocked, y'all. I was like, what? He was like, y'all follow her lead. And so I got to praying for somebody else and everything. And then this one right here, well, anyway, this one right here that I got to praying for started to be delivered. And what I mean by that is the person started beginning to upchuck and stuff. And so, I had to have somebody run and get a trash can and all this and stuff like that, y'all. And so most of it made it in the trash can, but some of it was on the carpet. And so I was able to tell him how to, do the carpet, because you can't just clean it up. There's certain things you got to do. See, my specialty that God has given me is deliverance. Imagine that. The woman with all the issues, the woman had all the issues. God gave me deliverance. Ain't that funny? He has a way, don't he? And which that's the main gift that I operated in, deliverance and healing. And then there's other things, but we ain't getting into that because to God be the glory. So my ministry is a deliverance and healing ministry, right? And the pastor did not know who I was. He didn't know who I was. He thought I guess when he called me, God showed him who I was. But like other than that, I was just an ordinary person. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know what I did. His spirit, the Lord, touched his spirit and said, get her. So what I'm saying is there is a scripture that says, and this is Sunday, that's why we're going spiritual, okay? There's a scripture that says, your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. So in other words, you don't have to make your own way. If you do the right thing at the right time, like I like to tell y'all, the teacher will show up when the pupil's ready. Okay? So you have to make sure that you never know who's looking, and you never know when your chance will be here. You never know, you know. So I was grateful that God felt that I was good enough to take care of his people, because I don't take souls lightly. A lot of people, because of the gift that God has given me, always ask me, do I read cards, and am I, do I do tarot reading and stuff like that? No, because I'm a prophet. I don't do that. I work for God. And I only can see what he wants me to see, and I only speak what he wants me to share. Other than that, I might see a lot, but if he don't tell me to share it, I don't. That's the difference. My gift, and just to give you a backstory on it, you cannot go to school to become a prophet. Stop it. Ugh. It bothers my shana. You cannot, you cannot go to school to become a prophet. Yeah, you can go to school to become many things, but a prophet's not one. A prophet is earmarked by God. A prophet is somebody that God sends to this side of the world. Like he brings you into the world, but you're earmarked for him. And there's different levels of prophets. Okay, you have a church prophet. You have just the area prophet. Then you have the person who sits in the office of a prophet, which is me. I sit in the office, meaning that God has given me the gift to prophesy to leaders, bishops, pastors, preachers, presidents, any big leader, as well as small. But I sit in the office. I prophesy to other prophets. So, you know, that's the highest you're going to get right there. That's the highest you're going to get. The prophet who sits in the office of a prophet. See, a lot of times people can prophesy as a gift, and gifts come without repentance. So I'm not moved when people can do stuff because sometimes it's a gift, okay? And you didn't do nothing for a gift. God just gave it to you, you know. But when you are chosen, a lot of things that when you're chosen, you can't get away with that other people can. Like somebody else to be able to go into a store and let's just say they steal some chewing gum, won't nothing happen. If I go into the store and try to take something without paying for it, like some chewing gum, cops is coming. I'm be splattered all over the, like my face will be everywhere. It'll be a big old shame. So yeah, there are many that are called, but only a few are chosen. And that's the truth. Did I ask to be chosen? Heck no. But this was something God ordained before I even got here. It's just I've for the last however many years I've been truly walking in this calling. Now, even when I was a kid, I was prophesying. It would come like I could just sit here and tell you your name. That's how it would just flow off I wouldn't even know you. And I could say, "Oh, hey Tanya." And you'd be like, "Whoa, how you know my name?" You know what I'm saying? So that's how that was. That was that before I became damaged. See how when I went back to my book? Hey, y'all thought I forgot. That's how it was before I became damaged. The enemy tried to kill me and kill the gift that God has put in me, but he couldn't because I don't belong to him. I belong to God. So even though I walked through my storms and everything, there was for a reason. It was not a fruitless storm. I went through my storms because there was other people at the end that I have to bring out. I have to be able to minister to other people and pull them out and let them know that they can come out of it. So, I started being damaged a little bit at the age of 8, and it changed me. It really changed me, and I always wondered if I can just be totally naked and unashamed. I always wondered who I would have been had I not had to endure molestation and incest and stuff like that at such an early age. Abuse and stuff like that. I always used to wonder, like, who would I still be this person? Or would I have been something different? And I won't know that until I get to heaven and God can answer all things. But it just makes me, not sad, but it lets me know that I'm special because a lot of things that I went through, people have went through 10% of what I've been through and have lost their mind. And God has allowed me to trump over everything that I have went through and still be standing and still be in my right mind. you know. So that's why a lot of times, y'all, I know y'all be like, oh, here she go talking about God again. Y'all just you don't know my story. You don't know my story. So I can understand why that would bother some of y'all that I talk about God like that. But you just gonna have to get with it. I'm serious. Either you're gonna have to embrace it or not. It's just as simple as that. Because I will not stop talking about it. I will not stop talking about him at all. So, and a lot of times you may not need the story that I tell uh that I've been through, but you may meet somebody that needs it. Case in point. Uh, there was a women's banquet and I was asked to be one of the speakers. So on up until an hour before, y'all think I'm playing. On up until an hour before it was time to leave out to go minister, I had nothing to preach on. Nothing. Nothing. I promise you. And I was like, okay, God, you gonna get me up here and really embarrass me. And right, seemed like as soon as I got that out of my mouth, it just popped in my spirit. Boom. And I mean the complete thing. And I'm one, I do not write my sermons down. I can't write my sermons down. I don't know why. Like, I just can't. I know a whole lot of ministers do, like they open up their little bandos and they preach from that as well as they babble. I can't do that. I actually have to open up my babble and just let it speak to me what God wants me to say. So that's one of the difference. Now I have made some notes before, like little bitty like uh what did I say? This means acorn or something like that. But it was never like a sermon written out. And I can't do it. There's no way I can do it. So anyway, back to the banquet. Back to the women's banquet. And so I got up in there and I actually the name of the title of my sermon was God Can Still Use Damaged Goods. Yeah, where have y'all heard that before? So anyway, that was the title of my sermon. And but the thing about it is I had a prop with me. And so after I got to a certain point, I took my props out. I had 2 cans of corn, y'all. 2 cans of whole kernel corn. One can was so beautiful and shiny, and oh my gosh, it was just, it sparkled. It was so shiny. The other can had been beat up and bruised and dented in and stuff like that. And I remember breaking down the science of one can of corn with the other can of corn and putting it to us, And people talked about that sermon for years. Do you hear me? But what really did it for me was this girl that was there. And she told me the following Sunday, because I went back, she told me the following Sunday, she said, I ran into somebody that needed that sermon. She said, believe it or not, my friend was like, and she was telling me what her friend was going through without telling her friend's business. And she said, and I told her, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Because I heard something, Sardy, honey, this is for you. She said, look, she said, you see this can right here? And you see this can right here? And see, blah, she said, I broke it down, honey. She said, I'm so glad I came. She said, because you made that so elementary where even the baby could understand. She said, and when I told her that, immediately she said it changed her. And she was like, I can do this now. I was like, oh, yeah, that made me cry. It made me cry because, not sad tears, but happy tears, because that's what it's all about. That's what ministry is all about. It's about uplifting and changing, And she was smart enough to know that if she didn't need it now, she might need that lesson later. And it just so happened she bumped into somebody who needed that encouragement, So it just really made me feel pretty good. I was like, okay, come on, God, come on. So, because the way that he has me, the way that I minister is really unorthodox. It's really unorthodox. Like, okay, last year, before my husband passed away, I was invited to a church to preach their Sunday morning service. And we went, and believe it or not, you're not going to believe this. The title of my sermon was We're Off to See the Wizard, based on the Wizard of Oz. And the way God gave me that, I'm still in shock. I'm in shock. Like, the way he broke it down to me, I was like, say who? And so they recorded it, and people were so shocked. They was like, I would have never got that sermon out of that. How did you? And I keep telling them, it's not me. God just speaks to me. And when he speaks to me, I'm like, okay, and I just go for it. So I guess I'm just trying to encourage somebody today. It's okay to be different. Not everybody is the same type of minister. Not everybody preaches the same. Not everybody teaches the same. Not everybody sings the same. Okay? Just do what you do, but do it unto the glory of God. Now, let me say this. Now, I just said something about singing. And if you can't carry a tear in a bucket, please don't. A joyful noise is much different than a singer. Okay? The Lord The Lord enjoys a joyful noise. You know what I'm saying? You could be off key all you want to be. But please don't stand. Please don't stand up talking about you're gonna do a solo and we need you to sing so low that we can't hear you. You feel me? Come on now. Come on now. Come on. The Lord knows your heart, baby. I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help you, you know? So, anywho. Yeah, guys, I'm silly. But no, I'm serious for real though. But yeah, I'm trying to say it in a silly way, but I'm serious. You know, we have to work with the papers that the Lord gave us. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to say that, and um, you know, it's a difference in my books. Like in each book, you can tell where I was in life. My first book, I was so proud of that because I wanted to get something out. And at that time, that's the level I was on. You know, the writing that's in the book, that's the level I was on. I was just trying to get my story out. The second one is a little bit better than the first one, talking about in the penmanship part of it. But my last one I just wrote about my king, my husband, my friend. I miss him so much, y'all. I ain't gonna get on that. That's that, if you ain't checked it out, check it out. It's called He Said He'll Never Leave Me. He said he would never leave me. That's the name of that book. And all three of my books is on Amazon. They're all on Amazon. I always tell people if you want a signed copy, email me and I give you my cash out. You cash out me, I sign the copy and ship it to you, no problem. Okay. So any chew. Um, I will be on tomorrow, and I do a live tomorrow, and I have a herb that I want to introduce to you all. And tomorrow is the eve of the year that my husband has been deceased, and so yeah, my husband, he passed away on September 13th, 2021. So tomorrow is the eve of their 1 year anniversary. And so I will be on to talk with y'all a little bit and go from there. And then Saturday is his birthday, believe it or not. This Saturday coming up, the 17th, is his birthday. And I have something big planned for that as well. So anyway, I am about to get out of here. You all have been a wonderful, wonderful subbies. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you give me about 5 minutes, I will place the 2 subbies we are celebrating today on the community feed. And I heard something about a purge in Chicago. Somebody can let me know something about that. That sounds like ridiculous, but it is Chicago. I hate to say it, y'all. Sometimes they do stuff that other states be like, huh? So, we'll see. I'm praying about that. I'm really praying about that. So, okay, you all be blessed. And remember, if nobody told you you're intelligent, you are. And if nobody told you they love you, I do. Smooches.